A shocker up in Sacramento as the Kings are expected to open up talks for a potential De'Aaron Fox trade ahead of the February 6th trade deadline, the source told ESPN earlier today. Fox, 27 years old, has 1 year left on his contract before he hits free agency in the summer of 2026. The sources says he has not showed a willingness yet to commit long-term to the Sacramento Kings. He's a dynamic player, an all-star, one of the quicker guards in the league, plays on both sides of the floor. And Sacramento's rolling right now. Since they fired Mike Brown, Doug Christie has done a heck of a job. But earlier today, Rich Paul and company met up with Sacramento, and news came out that the Kings are now open to maybe involving De'Aaron Fox into a trade. Sent shockwaves through Sacramento and sent shockwaves throughout the NBA.
The NBA is insane, man. It's so crazy. This is the franchise player for the Sacramento Kings, and he's a dynamic, incredible player. The all-star, quick as all get out, can get to the cup, can do a lot of things on the floor. He's a shooter. He's one of the first athletes signed to Under Armour with Steph Curry, so kind of that protege, thing coming up as a point guard also here in California. So it's a shocker to me to see De'Aaron Fox at this stage of his career asking to leave Sacramento, because I thought they were starting to roll since Mike Brown got fired. I thought they had something good cooking in Sacramento. So it's really gonna be interesting to see how that unfolds.
Yeah, he's a great player. He's maybe the fastest guard in the league. He can improved his three-point shooting. He's a one-man fast break, dynamic player. I thought he seemed comfortable up there. Right. And you mentioned they're playing such great basketball. But this is the NBA. You never know what's coming down, what tomorrow holds. So we'll see how this thing plays out. But if he does leave Sacramento, obviously that hurts them. But whoever he goes to, all of a sudden, is going to get a big lift.
Well, he said he has a destination in mind, and that could be the San Antonio Spurs. You never know about the LA Lakers. Rumor Mills has it.
Is that from him or from you?
That's from the big,
you got your ear to the ground?
I got my ear to the street, Willie. That's what the streets are saying.
Yeah, I could see. Obviously, the Lakers are going to be a consideration.
But the Spurs?
Him and Wemby?
He's from Texas.
That's tough. That is
from
a
Texas.
Tough combo right there. Point guard.
I mean, there'll be 29 teams calling on this guy.
No doubt.
He's that good.
We keep talking about the parity in the West. Imagine the kind of boost he could give any of those teams that are trying to climb, and any young team that's trying to really make a statement and start to build for the future. Man, that's tough.
You have De'Aaron Fox, who's on the block now, and also Jimmy Butler, who we've known has been on the block for the last 3 weeks, and he's been suspended for a third time by the Miami Heat, who walked out of shoot-around. They suspended him indefinitely, and apparently the price has went down. It's gone down so much that apparently the Warriors are re-engaged with Jimmy Butler talks. So should they roll the dice?
So this is going from a trade to a divorce.
Yes.
This is a little different.
This is done.
Different terminology.
This is done.
Different terminology. Jimmy Butler is a great player, still playing at a high level. My question with the Warriors: does he fit their style of basketball? I would compare it to Sacramento acquiring DeMar DeRozan, a guy likes to play inside the three-point line with the ball in his hands, which is not a bad thing. It's great to have a guy that can close the game. But during the course of the game, how many times have we heard Steve Kerr? We just heard him in his comments. Move the ball unconditionally, body movement, ball movement, motion. When you open, shoot it. That's not his typical style of play. Not saying it can't work, but there'll be some adjustments to be made.
Honestly, it's really sad for me to see Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat separate like they are separating, because Jimmy has meant so much to this franchise. He was one of the star players that led them to a championship just a couple years ago. So this is a team that's been known for grit and grind and being a tough team that does all the things, all the little things right. So to see it end this way, it's tough to see. But at the same time, you're hoping that somehow the Miami Heat can, Pat Riley's he's a mastermind. He's going to find a way to salvage this for the Miami Heat as well. But Jimmy Butler, he can help any one of these teams that we keep talking about in the West that are so bunched up together.
Yeah, but you bring up Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra. The one thing they're known for in Heat culture is professionalism, your daily habits, your accountability. And when that's not in line, then we got problems. And Pat Riley's not one to, sidestep. He's one to address it head on. And that's what he's doing.
And that's what they're doing.
I think he's actually doing a league a favor by addressing this.
No doubt.
Because I'm all for player empowerment, but with player empowerment comes accountability.
No doubt about that.
Talk to him, Moody.
And Jimmy Butler could be on the move. One guy we know who may not be on the move is Jalen Green of the Houston Rockets. Up with some good ball. Just won at Boston. They swept the Cleveland Cavaliers in the back-to-back.
Give me that.
Wow. Look at Van Vliet to Jalen Green.
Wow.
Oh, he is getting up as they're playing the Atlanta Hawks. No, it's not the Cleveland Cavaliers. No, Terrell Brandon and Bobby Sears not on the floor. Those are the Hawks.
Hey.
I'm confused right now, Bully. I thought they were at Gund Arena or something.
Good call, Bonte. Good call.
But you know what? The Hawks are playing well. Oh, we got, Dylan Brooks.
Whoa.
He just hit 10 threes the other day. Thought he was feeling good, but the Rockets do get the win.
He didn't stay in the game after that, did he?
I don't know. What's
his nickname again?
Dylan the Villain? Well, he's right there, Bully. He's still in the game.
He stayed in the game after that?
He did. I guess so. Wow.
So.
Well, look at the biggest improvement. The Rockets last year at this point was 21-24.
Wow.
They were ascending. They did battle for a play-in spot. But this season, they're number 2 in the Western Conference, 31-14. One of the biggest turnarounds from last season. You see Detroit, they were 5-40. Their game up over 500. Memphis is obviously better. Wemby and, of course, the Cleveland Cavaliers. But the Houston Rockets, Amen Thompson averaging over 19 and 11 in the month of January. Tari Easton's a solid player. You got Dylan the Villain, Brooks, and Fred VanVleet as their veterans. And then, of course, Jalen Green, the superstar. Houston's playing some really good basketball right now.
To me, there's a lot of factors you want to talk about with the Houston Rockets. One, patience. They were patient with their young players. They got 5 really talented players, 22 or under. Mm-hmm. And you mentioned Şengün, Jabari Smith, Thompson, Jalen Green, Cam Whitmore. I mean, these guys are talented, but that franchise was patient and then played development. And, of course, Ime Udoka came in there and really instilled those San Antonio daily habits, defense first, team play, unselfishness, and that's what you get. So, I mean, think about some of these players who are 21, 22, and you kind of get a little – so you start talking about what they can't do. Think about what they can do if they're nurtured, developed, and you show some patience and confidence. All of a sudden, that's what you get.
The Rockets are playing confidently, and there are young players in the league being backed by a coach, Ime Udoka, who had success with the Boston Celtics, going to the NBA Finals. And now you see them with the same principles, the same defense, the same playing hard and getting all the loose balls, the same toughness. Dylan the Villain, you say what you want about Dylan Brooks, but this guy wins. He comes into games and he tries to help teams and support them, making them tougher, grimier, whatever it is you want to call it, helping teams get that identity as the tough team. That's what you need for a young group like the Houston Rockets. Then also you see them offensively. They are running every possession. Every one of those possessions you just watched was them getting it down the floor, fast breaks, throwing lobs, all these things for young teams right now. You see a lot of young teams improving at this point in the season because those tired legs for older guys, the young guys don't have that. They can play back-to-backs. They can run up and down the floor. And for them, they're really making an improvement right now this season.
You mentioned Fred VanVleet. Dylan Brooks is a veteran. Also,
made 10 threes the other night.
Jeff Green.
Jeff Green, yeah, I mean, call.
Sometimes it's not the most vocal guys. Sometimes you lead by example. It seems to be VanVleet and Jeff Green and even Dylan Brooks. I mean, he plays hard, but like you said, when he's shooting the basketball, he makes it's a whole different impact on the team.
Yeah, 10 made threes on the parquet floor in Boston. And, of course, he's getting to Trae Young's face as well. Put 2 hands around his neck.
And stayed in the game.
That's crazy.
He stayed in the game. He stayed in the game.
That's crazy.
Well, one young guy the Warriors are hoping pops here is Moses Moody, right? He's getting an opportunity with all the injuries. And so far, I think he's taking advantage of it. He's had a solid week himself, scoring in double figures tonight. He gets to start, scores 15 points, 4 rebounds for Moses Moody, some nice passes, 3 assists. Moses Moody always stays ready. Fezzi, this may be a time where we finally see Moses Moody pick up some consistent minutes over a 3-week period of time.
Bonte, you missed that no-look pass
I
right
saw
there.
it, though. I see
This
it.
is stay ready so you don't have to get ready Moody. And that is, on a night like this, when there's no Steph Curry, no Draymond Green, you see him playing multiple positions. You see him getting the ball and being a driver scorer. You see him being a driver facilitator. You also see him just making plays and moving without the basketball, rebounding, playing tough. All these things are things that you need from a role player. Moses Moody is the perfect guy to come off the bench for the Warriors.
You know, a lot of his minutes tonight, he was with Schroeder and Brandon Pajemski and even Buddy Hield at times. So all of a sudden, he's in the front court, right? So defensively, he's strong enough to play power forwards. Yep. And not many power forwards post up anymore. Anyway, on the offensive side, he's getting those wide open 3-point looks because that big man's getting sucked into the paint. So when he plays the front court, I think he's way more comfortable both defensively and offensively. You see a lot of those catch and shoot threes. Yep. It's pretty wide open.
Yeah, game clinching 3 or
big time catch and shoot off the screen.
Yeah, off the screen there to start that run, 11-2 run to stabilize his basketball game. Now Moses Moody right now, he had a solid game. So you know what? Raymond Ritter walked him up to the podium.
Hi, Moses. How pleased were you with the way the ball moved tonight, and also the way you guys took care of it, getting so many assists and not many turnovers, and everybody getting involved?
Yeah, it was definitely a good one, especially with Coach harping so much on pace and playing fast. I think we did that, executed it good, so being able to apply what we've been working on is a good sign.
You've been playing a lot more at the power forward spot, like ostensibly. Where do you feel like that role helps your game?
I feel like I'm kind of doing the same stuff, from 2 to 4. We pretty much do the same stuff out there, so it's a familiar position. It just, that's more so just who you guarding, I guess. But we run the same stuff. I'm in the same spots.
Are different types of players guarding you, or is it just you guarding bigger guys?
We really just match up depending on who on the floor. So it's not like a set thing every time. I really don't feel much of a change from when I've been quote unquote playing. Like, it's just the same stuff.
What'd you think when you saw Dennis go down?
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be worse than it looks like it is. So I was curious on what it was, but I was glad to see him go back out there.
What did he give you guys tonight?
Dennis, he definitely adds something to the team on defense and offense, but mentality-wise, too. The way he's approached to the game, the way he plays, the way it feels when he's on the floor, you definitely feel his presence.
Moses, Brandon had 5 straight points shortly before halftime that kind of gave some momentum. How much did he provide? I mean, just doing all the little things tonight. Yeah,
that's what Brandon is. He's a connector. He plays. I like the way he plays. He's smart. He's the head of the defense a lot of times. So just being able to score, distribute, put the defense in compromising positions, he really does help.
Time now for the odds presented by Great Resort and Casino.
Well, what do you know?
It was a push, Fezzi, which means we would have just got our money back, but we didn't win anything.
You know how stressful the end of that game would have been just to get your money back?
It would be very
So
stressful.
it's kind of like you chilled.
Yeah, which is what we need to do for some time. Because we've been losing a lot of money around these parts. Just chill tomorrow night.
Betting with your heart and not your head.
Exactly, Bully. Let's relax for a second. Let's get to the All-Star break. We got to buy some All-Star merchandise for the family, Bully.
Little merch?
Yeah, a little merch, man. Got to save our pennies around
QP.
here. The highlight zone coming up on the other side. Toyota Warriors postgame line.
A little